I'm Jackie from Chronically Jackie, and this is my service dog Harlow. This video is dedicated to going over all the gear Harlow and I use as a team. If you're interested in how to get a service dog or want to learn more about service dogs in general, then you need to watch my Service Dog 101 video. Or if you want to learn more about Harlow in specific, then you need to watch my All About Harlow video, and you can find links to both of those videos in the description. I'm going to be mentioning many companies, sellers, shops, products, and so on. And if I have a link to those things, you'll be able to find the link in the description in the gear list. Also in the description are a ton of helpful links, so be sure to check it out, and there's also a table of contents there too. So if you're only interested in my nighttime gear or my collars and leashes, the table of contents will take you straight to it. You don't have to watch the entire video. Keep in mind that stores I mention may close, or they may stop making the products I show y'all, or Harlow and I may get new gear in the future that we don't feature in this video. But I'm going to do my best to keep the gear list in the description as updated as possible. Also keep in mind that you don't have to use the gear I use whatsoever. There are many good options out there for gear, and just because I don't mention it doesn't mean it's not a good option. In this video, all I'm doing is sharing what Harlow and I use as a team and what has worked well for us. And lastly, I must warn you, there's going to be a lot of pink. There's no secret that pink is my favorite color. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's get started. There are several wonderful places to get gear from. There are so many good options out there, and these are some of my favorite places. But that's not to say that I don't like to try new shops every once in a while, because I do enjoy doing that too. So anyways, one of my favorite companies is Ruffwear. They make rugged dog gear, and although they aren't service dog specific, you can make their products fit your needs by adding on service dog patches or leash wraps and whatever else you may need. I love their products because they are very high quality, and this company really values their working dog clients. They have something called a Pro Purchase Program, and you can apply to the program online. Once you're accepted, they will give you a discount the entire year. It is awesome, and it has allowed me to afford really high quality products for Harlow. I really love Ruffwear, and I can't say enough good things about this company. The next place I like to go to is Amazon. I'm part of the Amazon Prime program, and I get 2-day shipping. I love free shipping, and when it comes in 2 days, it's even better. Amazon has things like patches, leashes, vests, and so on. I also really like Etsy and Instagram stores. Both Etsy and Instagram have shop owners that are really passionate about what they're making. Both have really unique items. You can find service dog specific gear in both Etsy shops and Instagram stores. So you can get patches, leashes, vests, anything you could possibly think of. And you can get custom orders, and that's really important to me. I love to customize my gear to fit my personality. You can get custom colors, which is important to me because it's sometimes hard to find pink patches and other pink items. So custom gear is really awesome, and Etsy and Instagram stores are great places to go to for that. And if you look in the description, I have some links to some of my favorite Etsy shops and some of my favorite Instagram stores. I also really like Chewy.com. It's a website where you can get just usual dog gear. It's not service dog specific, but that's where I get things like Harlow's dog bowls, her toys, dog beds. It's just for dog supplies, and they have really great prices, and when you hit a certain amount of money in your cart, you get free shipping, and I love free shipping. So those are some of my favorite sellers. And also, when it comes to patches, I go to a local seamstress who will sew them onto my gear professionally, because I want to make sure it's put onto my gear perfect, and I just don't trust my own sewing skills. So that's all about some of my favorite sellers, but there are so many good options from places to buy gear. Now let's go over my vests and packs. The first one I have here is a wire dog vest. It's bright neon pink, which I love, and it's also padded on the inside for comfort. Harlow has always been very comfortable in this vest. It's never chafed her the wrong way or sat on her awkwardly. She loves it, and I love it too. Both straps are adjustable, and you'll notice that the buckle is really large, which is perfect for me when my hands are having issues with dexterity. It comes with 3 D-rings, one in the center, which I put miscellaneous items on, and 2 on the edge, which I attach a pull strap to. It's perfect configuration for a pull strap. The patches are custom made by Mutt Butt Gear. I chose the design for this patch, Dog on Duty, Do Not Distract. I, of course, have a Not All Disabilities Are Visible patch, and this is the same patch as the other side. It's just a very well-made vest. The vest comes with the option of saddlebags, and they are opened and closed with a zipper, very roomy inside, and they attach to the vest through the D-rings with these plastic clips, like so. See? I choose not to use the saddlebags because they seem a bit awkward to me, but lots of people use them and have success, so that's awesome. There is a Velcro slot on the saddlebag because this vest came with the option to have patches placed on it. But since I'm a custom patches kind of girl, I knew I wouldn't use whatever patches they provided, so I selected the option to have no patches. But this vest does come with patches, and it comes in many different colors. I have only spot cleaned this vest, meaning I've cleaned it with warm water and soap by hand, but I wouldn't be afraid to throw it in the washer if I needed to. Overall, I highly recommend this vest. It's done really well for Harlow and I love the neon pink. Next up is a pack I bought from Petco, and the company that makes it is called Good to Go. I love the big pink reflective strip on the top, and the back is mesh, so it's very breathable. You can see that the back has a drawstring shut portion to make it tighter, but I've never used it. And there's also a plastic D-ring. There's no place to attach a pull strap, but this vest does have a handle that comes in handy. And the plastic D-ring is good for attaching miscellaneous items. I love the patches I have on this vest. They were custom made by Mutt Gear. This one says, "Do not separate me from my girl." And this one I custom designed, and she lovingly made it for me. It says, "She gives me the strength to find my own magic." It was made in honor of our love for Disney. The other side has custom patches from Mutt Gear as well that say, "Dog on duty, do not distract," and "Not all disabilities are visible." I have just spot cleaned this with warm water and soap when needed. It's a lovely pack that has a lot of room to hold various items like my inhaler, my medication, emergency meds, things like that. Harlow loves this pack, and so do I. Next up is a Molly type style vest that was made for me by Epic Fido. Unfortunately, they're no longer making this vest anymore, but Epic Fido is still a wonderful store that makes high quality products. This is completely breathable, which I love, especially down here in Florida. It comes with 3 D-rings, which is perfect for miscellaneous items, and a pull strap. Bright neon webbing, my favorite color, and the patches are custom made by Mutt Gear. The one on the top says, "Not all disabilities are visible." The one on the side says, "Dog on duty, do not distract." And the other one on the side says, "Do not separate me from my girl." The strap in the front is adjustable, and the strap on the stomach is also adjustable. I love that it's a Molly type style vest, meaning a tactical type vest, because I can attach different things to it. I bought this pouch at Bass Pro Shop, and then I had a seamstress sew on a Mutt Gear patch, and it just slides through the webbing, secures with a fastening button, and it goes onto the vest, like so. And of course, I would only put both on at the same time to distribute even weight. I love this vest pack combo, and although Epic Fido doesn't make it anymore, they still make many other wonderful products, but this is a lovely vest that Harlow and I have used many times. Up next is what I refer to as Harlow's mess vest. This is what I got off Amazon, and I had that prime shipping, so it came in 2 days, and this was actually Harlow's in training vest. She wore this throughout the latter half of her training days, and it still barely fits her on the largest setting. It looks like a tube top on her though because it's so thin. Although I don't really like how it looks on her, and it doesn't have enough room for custom patches on it, this is perfect for what we use it for now. Because if we're going somewhere and I know her gear is gonna get dirty, I don't want her to dirty up her nice gear. So instead we'll use this, and then afterwards I can just throw it in the washer and dryer, and it comes out looking really good. It came with these big service dog patches. It has a reflective strip on the front. The front strap and bottom strap are adjustable, and the buckle is really big, which is great when my hands are having issues with weakness or dexterity. There's a big D-ring on the back and a handle. I attach miscellaneous items to the D-ring and a pull strap if needed. So this was great for her in training days, and now it's a perfect mess vest. This is what I refer to as Harlow's professional vest. It actually belonged to my previous service dog, and since it's not pink, we've never used it, but we keep it on hand in case we go to a very formal event or occasion in which pink will not work for her gear. This is a Rough Wear Webmaster harness, and it didn't come with the patches, but I ordered all of the patches off Amazon and had a seamstress sew them on. It has all of these straps, which makes it a little bit tricky to put on, but it's nothing too terrible, and they're all very adjustable. It's not padded on the inside, but my last service dog was always very comfortable in this. Also, there isn't really a place for a pull strap. There's one D-ring, which is very strong, but it's in an awkward location and the handle is a little too low to the body. So I need counterbalance assistance, and this vest just doesn't really provide that. So it's another reason we don't use it. Also, it's not pink, like I mentioned. I only spot clean this with warm water and soap, but since Harlow and I never use it, we never really need to clean it. But I think it looks very professional, so I wanted to share it with y'all in case somebody was interested in this as a vest. Lastly, we have what I refer to as Harlow's Fun Vest. It's a Rough Wear front range vest, and it comes in many different colors. There's no patches on it, but I could add a patch if I wanted to. This is what I would use if Judd were to take Harlow running or on a bike or something like that. We don't use it for service dog work, but I think it's good for every dog to have a professional harness lying around just in case you need one. And that's what it looks like up close. Ta-da! That is all I have to show y'all about Harlow's vests. Now she's gonna model them for you. Talk about collars and leashes. For me, it's very important that they are functional, but also fashionable, but just to the extent that they match our current gear. First up, I have an Easy Walk. This is actually a training tool used to teach a dog how to heel properly. I got mine off Amazon with Prime shipping, but various other stores sell it and virtually any pet store will have it too. It comes in a lot of colors and various other sizes. This is a great tool to teach a dog how to heel properly, and it does so safely because it doesn't put pressure on the neck, which can be dangerous if a dog is a heavy puller, but rather it puts pressure on the chest. It redirects attention to you because it steers your dog to the side when they pull. I love the Easy Walk. I've used it to teach various dogs how to heel, and it's done well, but of course there's other training tools you can use. If you use them properly, it'll get the job done. Anyways, Harlow was really easy to teach her how to heel. It's become second nature to her, and even though she still has a really good heel, I choose to continue using the Easy Walk just because I think this configuration is much more comfortable for her than a collar. So that's why I continue to use it, just for her comfort. Other handlers choose to use other things, and that's totally fine because each handler will do what they want with their service dog, and we only have our service dog's best interest in mind. Next up is the Leash and Collar set Harlow and I are currently using the most often. The collar is the top rope collar from Rough Wear. There's a big reflective strip going around the entire thing, and the buckle is really unique. I love how easy it is to undo and put back together again, and the leash buckle is very sturdy. I love it. The leash also has a reflective strip going through it. It's called the slackline leash, and it's very adjustable. The clasp is unique but very easy to use. I love that this leash has two adjustable parts, one for the lower end that's close to your dog and one for the top end that's close to you. This one is very easy to slide around and adjust. You just do like so. And this is the one that I move around, deciding between whether I want the leash to be over the shoulder, around the waist, or a normal handheld leash. It's awesome. This leash has held up really well to getting soaked in the rain, getting mud on it. It's easy to clean if you just wipe it down with a wet rag. And this is so versatile. It works really well for a service dog team that needs a lot of options. This is a great leash. I love it. Highly recommend it. The next thing I'm going to show y'all is the leash and collar set Harlow and I were using before we got the slack line. It's the rough wear flat out leash and the rough wear flat out collar. The collar is a normal collar. It's very high quality with a normal buckle that's made of plastic. The leash clasp is metal and very sturdy, and there's a tiny reflective strip going through the entire thing. The leash is called the flat out leash, and there is a reflective strip going through all of it. There's a handle at the bottom. It has the same leash clasp as the slack line. It's very functional, but as you'll notice, there's only one adjustable part. So for me personally, I could only use this as an over-the-shoulder leash, which was fine, but then I got a port. And it would be very uncomfortable using this because Harlow heels on my left, so it'd have to go over my port, and that's why we opted to get the slackline leash, because it's more adjustable. Even though the slackline doesn't come in this bright pink color, and this does come in other colors, I personally like the slackline more because it's more adjustable. But the flat out collar and leash set is still a great set. We used it for a long time and it's done us so much justice. This is an awesome set as well. You can't really go wrong with any rough wear products. Here we just have what I call my mess leash if I'm taking Harlow to the dog park or we're going somewhere I know she's gonna get dirty, if she's going on a play date with friends. I will just use this leash. It's a normal handheld leash that I got from Walmart. It is braided, I believe, and it has a lot of reflectiveness in it, which I love. So this is the leash I use if I just don't care about what we're doing and I don't want to risk one of her nice working leashes getting dirty. I recommend that all service dog handlers have a mess leash because we've used it a lot and it's come in handy and it's saved her working leashes from getting really dirty at times because this one was cheap and I don't care what happens to it. So this is a really good thing to have, but of course, you do you. Next up is a 25-foot leash. I got this from Tractor Supply Co. It's a tack and feed store, but I'm sure Amazon sells them or any pet store or various other online stores. So if you wanted one, I'm sure you could find one. I used this to teach Harlow how to have a very solid recall when she was a puppy. So instead of letting her off the leash and risking whether she would come back or not because she hadn't learned how to have a solid recall yet, I had the 25-foot leash to ensure her safety. And now Harlow has a very solid recall, and it's thanks to this leash she was able to learn how to have one very safely. This also comes in handy at various other times, so I just think it's good to have. So yes, 25-foot leash, very good to have. I'm glad we have one for those moments where it might come in handy. I also have a few leash wraps. This was made by an Etsy shop called Patience and Love. I love that Etsy shop. The leash wraps can have many different sayings, many different colors. This one says service dog with a paw print. I have one that says in training that we don't use anymore, but we used it a lot when Harlow was more in training and it helped a lot. And then we have one that says please ignore us. I do love leash wraps, but they don't always work to get the message across. Sometimes when we're using please ignore us, people tend to ignore us more and sometimes they don't. It just depends on what type of crowd you're gonna run into. These are also handy for non-service dogs because maybe you want people to know your pet dog isn't friendly. You can have one that says not friendly. Maybe you want people to know your pet dog is shy, so you can say something like shy, approach carefully, or something like that. I think leash wraps are a great way to let others know information about your dog that you'd like them to know without having to approach your dog first. So that's why I have a please ignore us, I have one in training, I have service dog, because maybe it'll deter just a few people from interacting with Harlow and distracting her from her job. Also, this comes in handy if I don't want her to wear a vest, but I still want to identify her as a service dog. I'll just clip this onto the leash and that is all she'll wear. Because Harlow can still work without her vest, she doesn't legally need to wear one. So leash wraps are very versatile. They can say many things, come in many different colors, and I really love them. And I love the Etsy shop, Patience and Love. The last thing I have here is one of my favorites. So somebody gifted this to Harlow and I didn't know exactly what they were making until I opened the package and I just about screamed. Look at this collar. So if y'all follow Harlow and I on Instagram or on our vlogs especially, you'll know that Harlow's nickname, one of them, is Hippo. So somebody made Harlow a hippo collar. The person who made this runs a store. It's called Guardian Gear Canine, and they have wonderful products. They don't only make fabulous collars, they make all types of service dog and dog gear. Highly recommend you check them out. They have a really sturdy leash clip here. The buckle is easy to do and undo, and I love this collar. I'm in love with it so much. It's just, it makes me so happy. It's a hippo collar. How funny is that? So anyways, that is all about my leashes and collars, and now Harlow is gonna model them for you. Let's talk about hot weather gear. Living in Florida, I've learned a thing or two about how to keep a dog comfortable when the weather gets hot. Actually, here in Florida, the pavement can become so brutally hot that it burns the bottom of a dog's paw. That's why paw protection in hot weather is crucial. The first thing I want to show y'all are rough wear boots. I have tried so many different brands to combat the hot pavement problem, and nothing stands up to the quality of rough wear. Also, you can't beat their price given the service dog discount that I mentioned in the first section. Rough wear makes 3 different types of boots. One is for snow, and the other 2 are great for combating hot pavement. They make a Grip Trax and a Summit. These are the Summits. It's an older model of the Summits, but they still work really well. And yes, it's orange. They don't come in pink, but that's fine. They do have different color options, so if you're gonna decide between the 2 based on color, go for it. They're both really good boots. The way I compare the 2 is the Summits are more like a lightweight tennis shoe, and the Grip Trax are more like a rugged, heavy-duty hiking boot. Because of my needs, my service dogs never really needed to have a heavy-duty hiking boot, so I prefer the Summits. I also like the Summits because they're a little more lightweight, and they tend to go further up the leg, which is more comfortable for Harlow's dew claw, and that's important to me. But I have had both the Summits and the Grip Trax. I have used both of them on my service dogs, and they both work really, really well. So you can't really go wrong between the 2 when making a choice. I also recommend getting the liners, and basically they're just little socks. Yes, they're adorable, because I've noticed that it makes the boots very comfortable and they stay on better for Harlow. Also, make sure you measure your dog's paws according to the instructional video on the Rough Wear website. There's a specific way to do it to make sure you get accurate measurements, but if you measure the wrong way, or they send you the wrong size, or the boots just don't fit even though you did everything correctly, don't worry, they have a really easy return policy. I've had to do that before. Also, if your dog's paws are different sizes, they have an option to order boots individually, and it costs the same as if you order a 4-pack. That's what I have to do because Harlow's front paws are 2.75 inches and her back paws are 2.5 inches. The boots should fit snugly, not too tight and not too loose. Also, training Harlow in the boots was super easy. When they came in, I put on the socks and then I put on the boots. I made it very happy with lots of praise and treats, and then I took her leash on her and I just power walked. I didn't even give her a chance to think about the boots. I distracted her with commands that she loved to do, playing fetch, and I kept it on for 5 minutes the first time. Every day we practiced, and I made it a really happy experience for her with things she loved, like praise and treats and commands she liked to do, and slowly extended the time that the boots were on her. And in no time, she had completely gotten used to them. There's also something called Musher Secret. It's a natural wax-based product that you put on your dog's paws for protection, and I've used it on my dogs before. I love it, but I think of it as a first line of defense type thing, because when temperatures reach a certain level, Musher Secret isn't going to do the job anymore, and you need something more, which are boots. I do something called the boot test, and I'm sure several other service dog handlers do the same thing. I'll take the back of my hand and place it in the hottest part of the pavement where the sun has been beating down on it all day. If I can comfortably leave my hand there for a full 10 seconds with no discomfort at all, Harlow does not need any boot protection. If I can leave my hand there for the full 10 seconds, but I have some discomfort, she needs Musher Secret. And if I cannot leave my hand there for the full 10 seconds because of discomfort from the heat, then she needs boots. Keep in mind that dogs do kind of like sweat through their paws, and when they have boots on, although rough wear boots are breathable to a certain extent, they cannot regulate their body temperature as well. So whenever Harlow is booted, I'm sure to take several breaks in the shade or AC where I completely remove all of her boots and socks to allow her to cool down. When a dog is wearing boots, they are more likely to overheat, so you got to be really careful with that. I never really use Musher Secret or rough wear boots anymore, just because I personally have increased heat sensitivity over the past few years due to my chronic illnesses. So if I don't go out in the heat, Harlow doesn't go out in the heat. But it's good to have the boots just in case, and it's good for Harlow to know how to use the boots just in case. I love rough wear boots. You can't go wrong with them. The sole on the back is very textured, and it stands up to the hottest of pavements. And all you have to do to put them on is unvelcro them, slip your dog's foot in, and Velcro shut. You can't beat the quality, and because of that service dog discount, you can't beat the price. So yes, I highly recommend Musher Secret and rough wear boots for hot pavement protection. The last thing I want to show y'all is this cooler. And I know it may look kind of funny right now, but that's because it's dry. To function, you need to wet it down, wring it out, make it damp, and then put it on your dog to keep them cool. And it keeps your dog cool without getting them soaking wet, and it doesn't get everything else around you soaking wet. I love it. This one is made by a woman who's really sweet, and she runs a shop called Coats Made by D. And there's so many things about this particular cooler that I love. One, it comes in a lot of vibrant colors, and that to me is important because it's hard to find good gear that accentuates your personality. So I was really happy when I found that it came in pink. Also, it's machine washable, and this thing can get really dirty. So the fact that it's machine washable is awesome to me. You put it in the washer and then you let it air dry. It also has a really big coverage of the tummy of your dog, and that's awesome because one good way to keep your dog cool is to keep their stomach cool. It's also custom made. All of Harlow's cooler measurements came straight from me to the creator, and it's custom made to fit Harlow. So this one fits her really well. It also holds up really well in the Florida heat. It stays damp for a really long time, and Harlow's comfortable in it. There's so many things you can do with this cooler. You can put patches on it, you can embroider it. This thing is great, and I literally went through so many coolers, at least 8 different coolers from some big companies, from some small vendors, and this is my favorite by far. So if you're trying to debate between different coolers, go ahead and try what you want, but I've already been through several, and this one's the best so far. Also, there's an option to put pouches in certain areas, so you can put ice packs to add extra cooling. I didn't get that option with this one, but when I order my next one, I definitely will. I don't use this anymore with Harlow because I'm heat intolerant and can't go out in the heat, but it's just good to have just in case, because especially since we live in Florida. Now I'm going to show y'all how this works. So I just fill my sink up with water, and then I put the cooler in and let it soak. I have soaked down the cooler in public restrooms, and if I don't want Harlow wearing this in the car, I'll just wring it out and then I will put it in a plastic Ziploc bag. So after it has soaked, I drain the water out of the sink and wring this out as much or as little as I want. You can wring it out completely to where it's just a little damp, or you can leave it soaking wet. It's up to you. I have wrung it out. Now let's go find our model. See, it's a great fit. Now your dog may still continue to pant with the cooler on because that is how they regulate body temperature, but the cooler helps to keep them comfortable. The cooler is damp, but Harlow's fur underneath is totally dry. Now, if you leave the cooler soaking wet, then your dog is probably going to get wet too. And gear does tend to get a little damp if you put it on top of the cooler. So you have the option to use no gear or just put patches right onto the cooler. What I choose to do is use Harlow's Mess Vest on top of her cooler. Even though the cooler is wet, it's not dripping onto the floor and it doesn't make Harlow smell like a wet dog. It fastens with Velcro and it's really just a wonderful product to use in the heat. Now Harlow's gonna do some modeling for us. I don't actually have any cold weather gear for Harlow because it never gets cold enough to need any down here, but I still wanted to make this section because I have a few suggestions for cold weather gear that I love. With my last service dog, he was a golden doodle and we always kept his hair cut very short to keep him cool here in Florida. But we did some northern traveling and I needed to get him a jacket because otherwise he'd be really cold up north. And I got the canine overcoat from Roughwear. It was a really well-made jacket that did a perfect job of keeping him warm. Roughwear makes really good dog coats and jackets, and they also have that service dog discount I mentioned in my first section. They have wonderful products that are really high quality, and you can't beat the price either because of that discount we get. So if you're looking for a dog coat and don't know where to go, I recommend Roughwear. You can also put on patches or embroider their jackets too. Also, Roughwear makes a Polar Trex boot. It's specifically for dogs and combating snow. I know snow can be harmful to dogs, especially with the salt they put on the roads and things like that. There may be more to it, I don't know, I'm a Floridian, but still, they make boots specifically for snow, and although I've never used them personally, I've used other Roughwear boots and they've been really, really great. So make sure you measure your dog's paws, specifically how the tutorial video shows you on the Roughwear website, and if your dog's paws are different sizes, you can order boots individually and it's the same price as ordering a pack of 4. There's also something called Musher's Secret, and it's a natural wax product you put on your dog's paw as a line of defense against anything that might harm their paws. I've heard that it's been good for defense against snow and other cold weather environments as well. So take my advice for what you will, as coming from somebody who lives in Florida with no snow and really no cold weather products, but these are things that I've heard have worked really well. I've used the canine overcoat from Roughwear myself and loved it. So that's all the advice I have for cold weather gear. Let's talk about wet weather gear. Living in Florida, it tends to rain a lot, and when it rains, it pours ridiculous amounts here. So I've done all I can to keep Harlow as dry as possible in those circumstances, because having a wet service dog when you're out in public isn't the best thing, but sometimes it happens. So one thing I do to help with this is I keep a towel in the car at all times, and that helps to a certain extent. Another thing I've done is I've ordered a dog raincoat off of Amazon. It's not pink, but that's okay because there's really cute little duckies on it. It comes in this pouch and there's a little portion on the top that fastens with a button so you can attach it to your service dog's vest or wherever you might want to put it. I keep this in the car. All you have to do to take it out is undo a button and pull out this ginormous raincoat that you'd never think would fit in this little pouch. And I got the biggest size possible because I wanted the most coverage. You undo this ginormous thing and ta-da! There's a raincoat. I just put it on top of Harlow. You just fasten it here, and there's one more place to fasten it on the chest, and that's it. The hood does cover her eyes a little bit, which is kind of awkward for her, so I don't make her wear this for long periods of time. For example, if we're in the car and we need to get into the supermarket, but it's pouring rain, I'll put the raincoat on her in the car, I'll make her wear it from the car to the supermarket, and then when we're in the supermarket, I'll take the raincoat off, I'll put it back in the pouch so it doesn't drip all over the place, and then I'll let Harlow go as normal through the supermarket. This raincoat is good. It keeps the top of Harlow dry, but of course her paws and legs will get wet too, but it's an extra line of defense against a soaking wet service dog. Next up, I have the Ruffwear Headwater Leash and Headwater Collar combo. The collar is very nice and sturdy, and it's a little cumbersome to buckle up because it's like a belt buckle, but it's nothing too terrible, and the leash clip is very sturdy. The leash is just a normal handheld leash. It doesn't go over the shoulder or around the waist. And the leash clip is the typical Ruffwear one. It's very unique, but very functional and easy to use. But what I love about this combo is this isn't like any type of fabric leash I've ever felt. It is a rubbery, silicone-y type material that completely wicks off water, mud. It won't absorb any substance whatsoever. So if it's pouring rain, or I need to leash up Harlow for a bath, or we're going somewhere I know that it's gonna be very humid or type of muddy, or anything where I know it's going to be dirty, this is a great leash to use because it completely wicks off any moisture or substance or water or mud or anything like that. So this is why I have it. We don't use it very often at all, but it's good to have it for those moments when I know it's going to be soaking wet. Up next is a pink Outward Hound doggy life jacket. What I love about this life jacket is there's a place for the dog to rest their head and it won't go underwater because there's a flotation device here for their chin. It's fastened with Velcro under their stomach, and there's 2 adjustable straps that also go under their stomach, and there's an adjustable strap that goes over their chest. 2 handles here are made specifically to lift them up onto things like a dock, a poolside, a boat. And I got this specifically because Harlow was going swimming for the first time and I was really worried about how she would do. But turns out Harlow's a really strong swimmer and doesn't need a life jacket whatsoever. But I have it still for just in case moments. If we were ever to go on a boat, I would feel more comfortable if Harlow had a life jacket. So that's why we're holding on to it. If you like Ruffwear and you're not concerned about color like I am, Ruffwear also makes really good life jackets, and that is all of the wet weather gear I have to go over. I feel like everything's pretty self-explanatory, so Harlow doesn't need to model anything. So let's go on to the next section. Let's talk about nighttime gear. As a service dog handler, it's important for me to keep Harlow visible and safe at night, especially in crowded areas so people don't run into her. One of my favorite things to use to do this is a Halo Lights LED collar. The company gifted Harlow a pink one and a salmon colored one. I really love this company. They're genuine people who really care about dogs and their safety. This collar has 3 different settings: rapid flashing, slow flashing, and steady. I'm photosensitive, so I only use the steady setting. If you're also photosensitive, maybe look away for a moment while I get to it. You just press the button. Ta-da! Look how bright it is in the daytime. Imagine at night. And no, it's not obnoxiously bright to the point where it bothers me while Harlow's working. I'm perfectly okay with it while she wears it at night while she's working. This is water resistant, meaning Harlow and I have been caught in the rain while she's wearing it and it was totally fine. And Halo Lights also makes a 100% waterproof version too. This runs on a charge and not batteries. The charge lasts me about 3 outings that last a few hours at a time. And when I need to recharge it, it's very easy. You just slip it out, get the charger they provide you, slip it into its port, and I plug this into where my phone charger goes, and it's charged overnight. That easy. This comes very long, and then you measure your dog's neck size and cut it. So make sure you measure twice because you can only cut once. I love this collar. I just keep it together and slip it over Harlow's head. It's been a great tool in keeping Harlow safe at night, and I love the company. I highly recommend getting a Halo Lights collar. I also use these glow sticks from Bass Pro Shop. You just press the button, they turn on, they're nice and bright but not obnoxious, and you turn them off. Where I use them is on Harlow's Epic Fido vest I showed y'all in the vest and pack section. They just slip right into the webbing, and they're perfect for nighttime outings, especially in crowded places. I have 4 of them and put 1 in each corner of the vest, and they work really well. They last a very long time. The only downside about these glow sticks is once they die, they die. There's no way to replace the battery or fix them or anything. You have to buy new ones, but they're only a couple bucks, and I buy them at Bass Pro Shop. They light up Harlow really well, and they keep her safe at night. The last thing I want to show y'all is something called the beacon. I don't ever use this, but I figured it'd be useful to show because it's a Ruffwear product, And a lot of the other rough wear products have a specific place for this to secure into in order to light up your dog and make them more visible. It has 3 settings: rapidly flashing, slowly flashing, and steady. I only use the steady setting because I am photosensitive. If you're also photosensitive, you may want to look away for a moment. Ta-da! And it's nice and bright and makes your dog very visible. It's sold on the Rough Wear website. It has a hook on the top so you can make it dangle, or like I said, it has a specific latch to hook into some Rough Wear products and make your dog more visible. So the beacon is also a good option to light your dog up at night and make them more visible and keep them safe. So that's all about the nighttime products, and now Harlow is going to show them off for y'all. Let's talk about travel gear. Generally, when service dog handlers travel, they take their service dog with them. So you have to pack for your service dog too, in addition to yourself. With all my medical appointments all over the state, we've done a lot of traveling, and one of the great things about Rough Wear is they make something called a haul bag. It only comes in one color, and unfortunately it's not pink, but that's fine because it's very functional. It has pouches on the outside, this side is zippered, and it has 3 more compartments on the other side. On the inside, it's extremely roomy, and the lining is perfect for any spills or messes that might happen. It's so easy to just wipe it clean with a wet cloth. This side of the compartment has 3 pouches, and the other side has 1 big zippered pouch. And like I said, the inside is extremely roomy. I like how the mouth of the bag opens very wide, and then it just zippers shut, and you have 2 handles here. This is the perfect bag for Harlow and I to use when traveling for all of Harlow's gear and just normal doggy necessities. Up next is the Rough Wear Kibble Caddy. This is a wonderful invention for those of you who feed your dogs kibble. You open the top, pour in the food, roll the top down, and secure the buckles. They act as a handle. There is a latch on the side if you want to pour food out that way. It's held together with a strong magnet. I've never had this open accidentally and food spill out, but if you want to, you can secure it even more with duct tape. There's a spot in the front where you can put various items like a collapsible dog bowl, or you can put a measuring cup. Since I had to measure out my dog's food for each meal, I would always just undo the top, measure out their food, and serve them for the day. This is a wonderful option for those of you who feed kibble, and it fits really well inside the haul bag. But Harlow and I don't use kibble anymore. Harlow is now on a raw diet. So when we travel with her food, we use a lunchbox like this, and I put her pre-packaged meals where I measure out her meat of the Ziploc baggies inside the lunchbox, and then I put an ice pack on top and travel this way, and it works really well. When we get to the hotel or our friend's house or wherever we're going, I just put the food inside the fridge, and they preserve themselves perfectly. The next thing I want to show y'all is this Vera Bradley tote bag. It was gifted to me by a very nice lady. It's roomy, has a lot of pockets, and it's very useful for keeping in the car. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and get a Vera Bradley tote bag, but having some type of big bag or basket in the car could be really useful. What I do with this is I put it behind the driver's seat, and I keep a lot of useful items in here. I keep an extra leash, an extra collar, an extra toy, wet wipes, a towel in case Harlow gets soaked while it's raining. I keep her raincoat in here, I keep her boots in here, her cooler, and I keep an extra vest in here too. Usually her mess vest is what I keep in here. So it comes in handy for situations, say we're in the car, she's wearing one of her nice vests and it starts pouring rain. I don't want her nice vest to get soaked, so I'll switch it out for her mess vest, which we already have in the car because of this useful tote bag. So that's why I really like having this bag in the car. Plus, if I need to go somewhere overnight, all of the gear I need for her is in this tote bag, and all I have to do is take it out of the car just like this. Plus, I also have the haul bag to fill up with other various gear. So between this tote bag and the haul bag, all of Harlow's gear is kept in one consolidated place, and it's awesome. And speaking of the car, now I'm going to show y'all all of the useful things we have in the car for traveling. Harlow is a wonderfully well-behaved passenger in the car, but that doesn't mean she can't get dirty, and I want to keep my interior as clean as possible. The first thing I have here is just an old blanket that I had, and I threw it over the seats to keep it as clean as possible. It's machine washable and really handy. This is a Roughwear seat cover. I love this thing for so many reasons. One, you get the service dog discount. Also, it has these side flaps to protect the side of the seat when your dog is entering and exiting the car. Also, it's machine washable. You wash it in the washer and let it air dry. It's so nice to be able to really clean this thing. Hair does not really stick to it. It's so easy to shake out. Also, it's easy to put on and off. It's just secured with 4 buckles like this, and it's fully adjustable. Each buckle is fully adjustable. There is a pocket behind the driver's seat, if you can see, with the zipper, so you can store various items. And there's also the option for the buckles to come through. You can also use the buttons here to put over the buckles if you don't want them visible, but I like them coming through. It's very easy to detach the seat cover from the driver and passenger seat if you need people to ride and put their legs down. I love this seat cover. Here I have a Kurgo dog seat belt. It's very sturdy, and I've tried many different seat belt brands, and they've all snapped at the bulk of Harlow's weight, because sometimes I've called her to get out of the car before remembering to unbuckle her, and she's been able to step out and the seat belt has broken. That is not okay, because I do this not to keep Harlow in place. Remember, she's a very well-behaved passenger in the car. I do this for her safety and the driver and passenger's safety, because dogs can become very dangerous projectiles in an accident. This has kept her in place when I've had to suddenly slam on the brakes. I've called Harlow out of the car and she's jumped, and this has kept her in place. I hook it to her vest in the middle D-ring or side D-ring, whichever seems the safest, and I love this Kurgo seatbelt. It's extremely sturdy, it's never broken, and it's perfect and it keeps Harlow safe. Lastly, I have these Kurgo door guards on each door. They're just to keep my door clean, but if you have a dog that scratches at the doors, that would be a great option. I've had them for over a year and they are starting to fall off every now and then, but they're still a great option, and they have little pouches that you can put various items in. They just slide right into the gap between the door and the window where the window slides down, and it's really easy to install. I do it myself. And that is our car setup. Let's cover miscellaneous gear, so gear that I think is important, but I can't really fit it into any specific category. First up are these awesome service dog bandanas that were gifted to Harlow by KMF Design Co. They really work well with her gear and really accentuate it when I want her to look even cuter, or they're a great option when I don't want her wearing her vest. Maybe it's too hot for her to wear her vest, or I want her to have a more off-duty feeling, but I still need others to know she's a service dog. They also make bandanas for your pet. They can just say your dog's name, or they can have no lettering at all. KMF Design Co. makes really awesome bandanas, and I love the ones they gifted to Harlow. Next up are my pull straps. I love this one. It's thick, made of paracord, pink and black, and I just clip it onto Harlow's vest and packs in order to use her for counterbalance and other mobility related tasks. This is an excellent pull strap, but the Etsy shop I ordered it from doesn't exist anymore. However, you can order pull straps from loads of other places. For example, this pull strap is also well made. It's pink and black, made of paracord, and it was gifted to me by the Instagram Sky Blue Eyes Service Dog in Training. I love the big carabiner clips. She also makes other things like pull straps for opening fridges and doors. I also made my own pull straps so I could teach Harlow how to open and close the fridge in order to retrieve me water when I need it. This is just made of felt that I bought at a craft store, and then I attached a piece of hardware that I bought at a hardware store. Both are very easy to find, and this was really easy to make. I just looped the felt through the hardware and braided it and knotted it at the end. To attach it to the fridge, I just loop it through the handle and secure it to itself, and Harlow pulls at this to open the door. It looks kind of grody because she's used it quite often, so it's definitely gotten covered in slobber, but this has been easy to make and it's been a great use for Harlow when she's retrieving me water out of the fridge. Something else you'll often see on Harlow's vest is a collapsible water bowl. It comes in many different colors. I obviously like pink, and this is made by Popware. I ordered it from Chewy.com. It has a carabiner on the top, so I just clip it to one of Harlow's D-rings on her vest, and literally it just pops open into a water bowl, and it's perfect for giving Harlow water breaks while she's working. It comes in 2 different sizes, a small and a large. I keep the large in the car because Harlow is a large breed and it's easier to give her water from the large, but I keep the small on her vest because I find that the large is a bit too cumbersome to attach to her vest, and the small is a perfect size for clipping onto her vest and giving her water breaks while we're out and about and she's working. These are called mutt muffs. They're literally noise-canceling headphones for your dog, and yes, I have them in pink. Harlow is not noise sensitive. She's very confident around all types of noises, just like service dogs should be. Fireworks, live music, things like that, she's totally fine. But I like to have these for just in case moments. They're really good for certain types of working dogs that might be exposed to repeated sounds that could damage their hearing. But if I were to go anywhere that could possibly damage Harlow's hearing, I would choose not to bring her with me. I don't want to risk it. But like I said, I have these for just in case moments. However, I have noise sensitivity myself, so I would never be going anywhere ridiculously loud, so Harlow would never be going anywhere ridiculously loud. We never use our mutt muffs. I would never bring Harlow anywhere with me that could possibly damage her hearing, but I like to have them for just in case moments, and mutt muffs work really well for certain types of working dogs in certain scenarios. This is a clicker. It's a great training tool that has a lot to do with timing and positive reinforcement. I have a video that details how to introduce your dog to a clicker. Sometimes Harlow and I use this when I'm teaching her new things. I bought mine off Amazon, but you can get a clicker in so many different places. Pretty much any pet store will carry one. This is my old treat pouch. There are so many fond memories associated with this thing, and although Harlow has graduated from needing treats so often and we don't use it anymore, I still felt the need to show it to y'all because it was so useful for us. This is the Rapid Reward Treat Pouch by Doggone Good. We bought ours from Amazon, and it is such a functional treat pouch. It's great for training your pet dog, and it's great for service dogs in training. It comes in many different colors, and it has so many compartments to it. There's one on the front that's held together with Velcro, and it's opened like so. I would keep various items in here. There's a slot on the side. I would keep my inhaler in here. And there's a slot on the other side that's actually meant for poo bags because you can dispense it through this hole on the side. And I would actually keep a clicker in here. Then the main compartment, which is held together with a magnet, is very big. I would keep regular value treats here. And there's another compartment on the back held together with Velcro, and I would keep high value treats in there. On the very back, there's a zipper with a thin slot, and I would sometimes put my ID and a debit card in there, maybe some cash. They have a strap that comes with it. I threw mine out because I didn't use it, but the strap can go around your waist and buckle and adjust so you can secure the treat pouch that way, or there's a clip and you can clip it onto your belt or onto the side of your pants. This is an awesome treat pouch. I know that it looks kind of beat up, but that's because it's been through a lot with Harlow and I. I have thrown it in the washer and dryer a few times and it's always come out perfectly fine. I love this treat pouch and I highly recommend it. The last thing I have to show y'all is something that I found very helpful and useful, but not every service dog handler is gonna wanna do this, and that's totally fine. I'm just showing y'all what worked for Harlow and I. So sometimes when I'm out and about, I'm either in a hurry trying to complete my errand, or I just don't feel well at all due to my chronic illnesses, but people still try to stop me and ask me questions because they're curious about Harlow and why I have her and so on. That just doesn't work out sometimes. So what I ended up doing is making an info card on Harlow through Vistaprint. It has a cute photo and some information and then a little paragraph on the back. The information on the front had her birthday, she is a golden retriever, she's training to be a service dog, and it basically just answers all the frequently asked questions I would get about her while I'm out and she's working or in training. And basically on the back it says, I'm a service dog in training, I'm learning to help my girl with her various disabilities. Don't forget, not all disabilities are visible. Also, she may not feel well enough to stop and chat. I know I'm cute, but I need to focus on my job. Distractions like calling to me, petting me, and trying to get my attention in any way could cause great harm to my mom. Thank you for being understanding. It also includes her Instagram handle in case people wanted to get even more information. So this info card, again, I made on Vistaprint, has really come in handy and helped people understand why I may not be able to stop and talk about my dog. So I really enjoyed it. It's helped me a lot. I'm actually going to be making an updated version of that card soon since the picture is a little outdated and Harlow is really close to being done with her in training phase. Who knows, maybe by the time you're watching this video, Harlow will be done with her in training phase. Anyways, that is all the miscellaneous gear I have to show y'all, and now Harlow's gonna model some of it for you. Section here, I just have a few household items that have really come in handy. The first one I have here is a slow feeder dog bowl. This is Harlow's dog bowl because she eats incredibly fast, and the slow feeder is designed to slow down her feeding. This is important because eating quickly can cause a lot of issues like bloating and other problems with dogs. So typical golden, quick eater. This is the perfect solution. I bought mine at PetSmart, but you can literally get this in so many places. Amazon, any pet store, Chewy.com, lots of options for where to purchase a slow feeder, and don't worry, they come in many different colors, not just pink. This is a lint roller. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but this is kind of like a giant lint roller that we got from Bed Bath & Beyond. Harlow does shed, and it's nice to have this in the car, so when we go somewhere, we can get all of the stray dog hair off of us. So I recommend keeping a lint roller on you if you have a dog that sheds. This has definitely come in handy. Next up is Harlow's favorite toy. It's just this like pokey, pink, squishy ball. It used to squeak, now it just does this. The squeaker, it doesn't even have a squeaker in it. I don't know what happened to it, but it doesn't squeak anymore, which is fine with me because squeaking drives me insane. This is Harlow's favorite toy. We got it at PetSmart. A lot of y'all have asked me, what is Harlow's favorite toy? Here it is. Also, she loves Nylabone toys. They're good for chewing on. As you can see, these are pretty well destroyed, but they hold up super well to Harlow's chewing. And she's a heavy chewer, not on furniture or anything. She only chews on her toys. The extra large, heavy duty Nylabone toys are perfect for her. We order all of our toys from Chewy.com because they have a great price, and when you hit a certain level of payment in your shopping cart, you get free shipping. There's also tennis balls she loves to play fetch with. We get them anywhere. Somebody gifted us this pink one, which is cute. She also loves tug toys, and I just get felt and braid my own tug toys for her. This one was a gift for her from somebody though, and she loves to play tug. They don't hold up very long because of how hard she can tug, but they're perfect and cheap to put together. And lastly, I have her toy bin. We got this from Home Goods. It's like a home decor store. It was cheap and perfect for holding all of her toys, which she loves. And again, we get most of her toys from Chewy. And now I have one more thing to show y'all. This is Harlow's cot. It's a Coolaroo cot. We ordered it from Chewy.com, and it's awesome. She loves her cot. It is elevated off the floor, so there's air circulation and it keeps her cool. It's also used for her place command, meaning I'll tell her place and she'll come and lay on her cot until I release her. It's great for when guests come over so they don't get ambushed by an excited puppy. She knows she must stay here and calmly wait until she can greet them. This is perfect for her taking naps. She likes to chew her toys up here, and it was just a really good purchase. She has a little corner of the living room that's all to herself, and she really loves her Coolaroo cot. Well, that is all the gear I can think to show y'all. Remember, sellers may stop selling the things that I've showed y'all, stores may close, and I may get new gear in the future that I didn't feature in this video, but I'm planning to keep the gear list in the description as updated as possible. Just as a disclaimer, none of the sellers or products that I mentioned paid me in any way to show them in this video. I'm just showing y'all what Harlow and I have used as a team and what works for us. But don't forget, there are several good options out there for service dog gear. I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you so much for watching.